Technoblade Never Dies. One of the most iconic lines spoken by a character on the Dream SMP. You might think this was during a huge battle or part of some glorious speech, but no. The iconic phrase was uttered by the character himself after just missing death in the Nether on the SMP.
Not even close, baby! Technoblade never dies! Technoblade never dies! Never question me again, chat! I don't care how many mobs ambush me, I don't care if they have a whole wither army, I don't care if 12 withers spawn in my location, I am incapable of death, iron armor, no helmet, doesn't matter, I do not die! I do not die!
Since then, that phrase has grown on to be a part of Technoblade both on and off the Dream SMP. But what if this wasn't some one-off in celebration of an epic clutch? What if this is a hint into Technoblade's full character on the Dream SMP? What if the phrase, Technoblade never dies, exists because he can't? Or rather, what if the reason he never dies is because one more death means the end of Techno, the end of the Blade? This is my theory on how the character Technoblade actually has only one canon life on the Dream SMP. Hello from editing me in the future. Really quick, I just wanted to jump in here and say that yes, Techno has recently confirmed that he only has one canon life on the Dream SMP, but I had been working on this script since before the new year, and I actually wanted to explain why I thought he only has one canon life, not that he just has one. And I recorded this before he confirmed it, but I still wanted to share the video because I think it's a really good explanation for why. So I'm gonna pretend I called this. Techno has one life, I called it. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, now back to the video. Technoblade's species. The content creator himself prefers to be considered more of an anthropomorphic pig than a human wearing a pig-like mask. Because each content creator dictates what is canon for their character, we can then take this as canon fact that Technoblade is a pig, but what type of pig exactly? When looking at other pig-like things on the SMP, we have a few options. Simple pigs found in the overworld, piglins, semi-hostile mobs found in the Nether with the taste for gold, zombie piglins, the zombified version of a piglin, and finally, brutes, the stronger subset of a piglin which is always hostile and only spawns in a bastion in the Nether. When looking at the options, either a regular piglin or a piglin brute seems the most plausible, as they are the most human-like of the bunch. In addition, both seem to have an affinity for gold. And, I mean, have you ever seen Technoblade without his golden apples? We can also attribute the hostility of a brute to Techno's blood for the blood god ideology, and why he seems to have such a love of anarchy, which in itself can also mean hostility and war. Because of this, it makes sense then to classify Techno's species as one of a mob, which means he has a different life system than the rest of the characters on the SMP. By that I mean, mobs only have one life on the SMP. 3 lives. That's how many each character gets when they join the Dream SMP. However, that knowledge has since been turned on its head with the introduction of Slimecicle. In the finale of Last Novatus, we see the character Slime's first and so far only canon death. Later on, we see Quackity's character trying to study revival in order to bring him back. We know from previous revivals such as Tommy and Wilbur that a character has to lose all of their canon lives before being revived, otherwise they stay in limbo or become a ghost. Therefore, it stands to reason that Slime had gone through all of his lives in order for revival to be even mentioned. But since we as the audience hadn't seen any other canon deaths for this character, we can assume that it only took one for him to be considered fully dead. On the other side, you have a character like Rambu, who is half Enderman and half something else. But we know from his ARG Twitter account that Rambu had gone through all 3 of his lives, with the other 2 mysteriously disappearing. Therefore, half-mob species seem to follow the same logic as the rest of the characters on the SMP, with 3 canon lives. However, this could have also been interpreted differently to be that he only started out with 1 life to begin with, and his canon death from Sam was his only life being taken away. Either way, from these 2 characters, it is safe to say that the life system of a mob-like species differs from that of a normal SMP character. So, how does this apply to Techno? Based on comparable traits between them, it is safe to say that Technoblade is at least somewhat related to a piglin species, whether normal or otherwise. In fact, it was in the Nether where the phrase Technoblade Never Dies first originated, the same place in which all piglins spawn. We know he's full of brute force, whether that's his OP set of armor, his rows of potions, his hound army, or even his love of spawning in withers. And his love of golden apples adds to his already insane fighting skill and strength. Lastly, we've seen him carry around numerous totems of undying in order to counteract his deaths. It was how he escaped his own execution, after all. It would make sense for someone with only 1 life to constantly want a backup just in case he came close to death. Especially someone who has caused as much chaos on the server as Techno has. We will have to wait and see whether or not the creator decides to give his full backstory, but until then, we can continue to enjoy his story on the Dream SMP. Because, as the saying goes, Technoblade never dies. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos just like this one. I'm trying to reach 1,700 subscribers by the month of May, so it would really mean a lot. Also, make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss a new video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!